I created another character design for my world where knights burn. But this time, it's not a knight. It's a twisted kind of magical healer. As a quick summary of my magic system so far, some people are born with the ability to burn magical substances that their body produces for all manner of strange supernatural benefits and detriments. The miasmaliers from my previous video burn a substance called Kiyln, which grants them not only an extreme amount of strength and coordination, but also intense bloodlust and a dangerous degree of pain numbing. These new additions to the world are called the Hands of Gelos. They burn a different substance entirely, known as ichor, but I'll speak more on that later. I needed to convey a few different ideas in the designs of the hands. Their garb, and potentially armor, would have to be more ceremonial and symbolic than practical. They are representative of the Empire, the Church, and Gelos himself, so their strength, sacrifice, and devotion should be clearly communicated via their outfit. That's why I went with nun-inspired clothes. And, for reasons I'll get into, their skin needed to be almost completely covered, so I gave them a mummy-like wrap over everything except for their hands. I also wanted to make sure that they fit in with the other warrior burners like the miasmaliers, so I kept a similar design language when designing their masks and armor, which you'll see in a second. It took some time to settle on a design for these guys, and this is just a glimpse into the potential of ichor burners. Although stamped out almost completely by the Archdiocese, which is the church, their healing powers can be taken to an unpleasant extreme that allows for grafting. That is, the fusion of new limbs onto one's body. I'll dive more into that idea at a later date, but if you've seen this guy from Elden Ring, you know how weird that can get. I saw a few questions on how burning works in the miasmalier video, which, by the way, thank you for the support on that. I don't want to give too much away yet, but I'll answer a few of the simpler questions. Firstly, yes, each substance burns a different color. Kiyln burns green, so all miasmaliers exhaust green smoke. Ichor burns a golden yellow, so all Hands of Gelos give off a yellow smoke. Secondly, burning does have a pretty high cost. Although it's usually much more mental than physical, Kiyln is incredibly addictive, and oftentimes miasmaliers go insane, or are killed by burning too much and too intensely. Not to mention the burn scars all along their skin. Lastly, I'm heavily inspired by Monster Garden in making these videos. How could you tell? So, here's my concept. This one was fun, and a whole lot less difficult than the miasmalier was to draw. I'd like to shout out the artist Pitch for his beautiful character designs. Definitely another inspiration for this project. I think I'm going to need to design some more extreme ichor burners in the future, and I'd definitely like to show you guys the kintsugi-like patterns that cover their skin. Alright, time to get into the lore for these mysterious healers. Ichor burners have extreme regenerative abilities. Golden smoke billows out of any injuries, and the ichor stitches the wound together and leaves a thin golden scar in its place. That might seem great for combat application, and it is, but ichor burners are extremely rare, and the Archdiocese is highly protective of the secrets of the substance. For that reason, they are mainly employed as healers for others. By directing ichor smoke through their hands, they can force the ichor into other people's wounds. This has miraculous healing effects, bringing people back from otherwise fatal injuries. In universe, the Hands of Gelos are an extremely mysterious group. They only ever come out of the capital, and are only ever seen as adults, so it's unknown where the Archdiocese gets them from. At least within the Empire, ichor burners aren't really found and recruited like miasmaliers or others. To the layman, they seem to just show up one day, fully grown and loyal to the Empire. It doesn't help that they always travel in secret and are at all times escorted by loyal and experienced miasmaliers. Of course, times are changing. There are rumors that a few hands of Gelos have been left stranded in the countryside, as it's ransacked by beast and man alike. Free from the archdiocese for the first time in their lives, I wonder if some might choose to stay lost. So here's the final image, a hand of Gelos. Let me know what you think, because I think I really like it. Once again, thank you all for the shocking amount of support on my Miasma Lear video. I can't believe I'm already at like 2,000 subscribers. I'm thinking I'll make full videos going into both Iliester and Iker. Then potentially on some of the strange creatures of this world. Dragons, perhaps? Anyway, that's all for now. I will see you next time.